Hey, good people. Tyra Body here, and today I am giving you some free therapy on this here Friday. Um, this is Tyra Body giving you some free therapy. I'm sitting in my office and I'm thinking about some things. I am a marriage counselor amongst counseling so many other things, individual and marriage. But after so many hours and so many couples, I felt like it is a community service that I give today to tell couples and even people seeking marriage what the real downfall of marriage is. If you look at statistics, they're going to tell you marriages end because of money or sex or infidelity. That's not true. I'm going to tell you this as a marriage therapist that is sitting with couples and hours of therapy, different couples. It don't matter race, religion, culture. The real reason today I want to talk about why the marriages are failing. And I'm talking about marriages where people are together 5, 10, 15, 20, even some 30, 40 years while their marriages are failing and why people are leaving. What I have discovered is we don't know who we're marrying. We have no clue. And I'm going to say this in a different type of way. If you are not studying your spouse, as in this is the background they grew up in, this is the environment in which my spouse was trained in, whatever that looks like. If I have not taken time to study where they came up, who raised them, and how they perceived their environment and the training they received, and how they took it and responded to it, I do not know my spouse. And if I don't know my spouse, I am loving a figment of my imagination, and they are loving a figment of a fake persona I have put out if I have not taken time to explain myself to my spouse. And when I say explain myself, what my background was, what the family dynamics was, who did what to me, and the effect those things had on me. And then I'm going to get into a marriage with you, and I'm going to say, this is what I'm not even telling you that the marriage is supposed to fix this, help this, heal me in this way, or I'm going to need you to treat me this way, not talk to me not this way, not deal with me this way. Because if you do, it's a problem because other people have treated me this way, talked to me this way, triggered me this way. So now you got two wonderful people, two loving people that absolutely love each other. They get along, they like each other, but they don't even know who they're marrying. If you're dating somebody and they tell you straight up, I have a parent that neglected me, rejected me, or abused me in any type of way, and your response is, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's awful. Your response needs to be bigger than that, more in depth than that. It needs to be, well, how has that affected you? And how you view relationships and how you view love. Because if you don't ask that person that, you're about to marry somebody with some trauma, some triggers, some red flags, some areas of sensitivity, and you have no clue. You have no clue that you're about to pay for what some other people did, and you don't even know you're paying the bill for somebody else's benefit. Somebody else did that, but you're going to pay the bill with this person while you're married to them. If you ignore the fact that your spouse has went through traumas and you don't say, how are you dealing with that? How are you handling that? Then you're not going to even step up or think it's your responsibility to help guide your spouse through that or to help be there for them. And when I mean guide them, you, a lot of the times, you are not the healer. You are not the helper, but you are the person to tell them, I believe you need to go to counseling for that. See, I have a lot of people, I look at a lot of marriage social media platforms, and you have people that say, I don't need premarital. We don't need to go to premarital. That's ignorant. That's entirely ignorant for two reasons. A, if you have never been in a marriage, you don't know anything about marriage. So you should probably go somewhere to learn about a thing that you know nothing about. It's ridiculous that we will go to school for our careers. We'll go to school to learn a business. We'll go to school to be good at multiple things in our life. But when it comes to marriage, the thing that could make or break us, the thing that could literally tear down families and legacies and bloodline, I don't need no education on that. We're just going to get in and see what it do. We're just going to try it. We're just going to try to just wing something that could literally tear up our lives and the lives of children. So when you say, before I get into marriage, I'm not going to get any education on it. We're not even going to read a book together. We're not going to go to counseling together. We're not going to learn anything about it, but we're going to wing it. You're going to wing it and wing right up out of it. This is why there's a 50% divorce rate, because you got uneducated people in the field of marriage getting into marriage and trying it out. So now I don't go to counseling or get any education on conflict resolution, communication skills, all that everyone knows are important tasks of marriage, and then I just get into a marriage. I equate that into me. If I came to you and I said, hey, I got a great job opportunity for a brain surgeon, my friend just can get you the job. But you know you didn't go to school for anything dealing with brain surgery. I say, but I can get you the job based upon the fact that I know you, and it has a great salary and a great title. It's prestigious to be a brain surgeon. And you're like, sure, I'll try it. And you know you haven't went to school, don't have any background in it, and you go work on somebody's brain, you're going to kill them. It's irresponsible for you to take a job just because it has a title and a salary and somebody can get you in, and you know nothing about it. Well, it's the same thing with marriage. How do you get into a marriage knowing that you want a title, you want the benefits of it, but you know nothing about it, but you're going to try it out? This is how you kill people. You kill their spirit. You kill their emotions. You kill the relationship. You kill so many parts of this. You kill it. The children are broken up. The children are not raised. Everybody's torn up because we will not get educated in something. So if I don't go to premarital, I'm not going to get any education. If I don't go to seminars, I don't read a book, I'm not going to get an education. Secondly, if I don't go to counseling to deal with my stuff, my 18, 20, 25, 30 years of stuff that the family has done to me, that the family has taught me, the wrong training, the wrong way how to love, the wrong way how to communicate, the wrong way how to be in relationships. I don't go to therapy to process through that and say, hey, was this okay? And people say, no, it's not. That's toxic. And you can't deal with people like that because you're not going to have a successful marriage or any type of relationship if you continue to operate like that. And that wasn't love. Let me help you understand what true love is, what unconditional love is, the grace and mercy that comes behind it. So you don't know how to process your trauma. So you just get into a marriage with somebody and it's like, well, we're going to see what happens. You're going to damage people. You're going to harm people. You're going to hurt people. If your spouse, looking at their family dynamics, I see a lot of odd stuff in the parents, in the siblings, in the family, and you don't tell your spouse, I really prefer that we go do counseling first. I'm not saying anything is wrong with you. I'm just saying the environment in which you were raised, the environment in which you grew up in, there are some negatives. And you say, and for me too, I'm not sure my environment was completely where it needs to be. Let's go talk out and see, do we even agree? Our training agrees. Because if you were trained this way in communication and I was trained this way in communication, we're going to conflict. If you were trained to deal with things a particular type of way that doesn't line with how my family dealt with it, we're gonna conflict. So I need to know, how did your family deal with it? You find out how my family dealt with it. And then we decide how we are going to deal with it in a healthy, responsible way so that we actually have a good marriage and a good family. This is the reason why you go to premarital, because I have a background, you have a background. We both have been trained. Some of that stuff is going to conflict. We're both good with people. We're both great people, but we're going to conflict. And excuse me, because I'm going to pull up my Facebook because I can't see if anybody's here or talking to me. I'm just on here. I'm telling you, I'm just on here. But I want to be able to respond if you're talking. But I really need you all to understand, marriage is not made up of somebody's bad, somebody's wrong, somebody's right, somebody's wrong. It's made up of two experiences. And if you deal with individuals, we are so diversified in our thought. We're so diversified in our background. You're going to have to ask me some real questions. I'm going to have to give up some good information. I'm going to have to tell you, if I didn't have a dad in my life, it gives me rejection issues. So when I see patterns of my husband not connecting with me, I'm going to feel rejected. So I'm going to give you anger. I'm going to give you attitude. And you're going to wonder, what's wrong with you? I just went to work. Or what's wrong with you? I just went out with my friends. And I'm not able to tell you, I don't think you're prioritizing me. But it really comes from a background where I felt like other people didn't prioritize me in their lives. One example, I have couples sometimes, the woman says, my husband doesn't give me gifts and it infuriates me. I said, well, tell me, did people give you gifts when you were younger? They say, no, I didn't get anything. for birthdays or anything. Nobody celebrated me. I said, does your husband know that? Does he know that when you were young, nobody celebrated you? They're like, no, he doesn't know that. I said, you probably should tell him that so that he can be a solution to it and say, I want to do something different than what your family did, so that he can actually have a sympathy and compassion for what you went through. And now he understands the importance of why he should give you birthday gifts or anniversary gifts. It's something as simple as that. He did not know that the people in your life did not celebrate you. Now, in his life, he was celebrated and doesn't think it's a big deal now that he's an adult. He's celebrating the kids because he saw kids celebrated. But he may have grown up in a family where he didn't see his father giving his mom anything for anniversaries or anything. So if he was trained in an environment where a man never gave a wife any gifts, why would your husband think to give you gifts? And what I hear from a lot of the wives is, I mean, they just should. Don't they know that that's just a good thing to do? What do you mean they just should? If I didn't grow up in an environment where I saw romance, where I saw a man loving a woman, because a lot of men are coming, y'all, out of single parent homes. So they were raised by mom, saw mom doing everything, and then you wonder why he wants you to do everything. Mom was in charge of everything. Dad either was not there or very passive and didn't show any husbandly traits. So now you marry this man and you see either he didn't have a father, or you see your father-in-law is very passive, not involved, not engaged. And then you have this image of another type of man in your head that you think your husband is about to be. He didn't get trained to be that way. By who? Who did it? Who did he see? What man did he see doing any of what you're expecting him to do? And so you're expecting this type of treatment. You're expecting him to do these things. And then when he doesn't do it, you're mad. You're angry. And I want to divorce you and I want to get rid of you. I want to get rid of you. And your husband is confused because he's thinking you married me knowing who you had. You knew my background. You know what I didn't know. And then here's the thing. When you see some weaknesses in me, you're going to have grace and mercy for me, that you're not going to mistreat me, but you're going to teach me to do these things. See, Christians, the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. God called us the helpmate, which means that this man is going to come with some deficiencies based upon his background, based upon his training, based upon things he did not have. So when you meet him, the first thing you need to be looking for is the deficiencies. What did this man not get that I can clearly see that he didn't get? I can clearly see that he has a weakness in this area or a lack of training in that area. It looked like he doesn't know anything about that. Okay, so now let me look at what I have, the strengths from my family and my background. Do I have strength for the things he's weak in? Because if I don't, we're not equally yoked. That's not a matchup. I had a client the other day. She said, I didn't even know that's what equally yoked meant. She said, I thought equally yoked means two of us do the same thing and like the same thing. I said, that's ridiculous. See, yoke. When you talk about yoke, you talk about ox. You're talking about ox and a wagon. So if I have two ox who both want to go left, and we both go left because that's all we do. We all go the same route. We're going to go in circles because we're the same. We both want to go in the same direction because we like the same things. We know the same things. We have the same strength. We're going to go in the same direction. We're both strong on the left side. We're going to go in circles. Or if both ox are strong on the right side, we're going to go in circles to the right. But if I'm strong on my right leg, you're strong on your left leg, we're going to go straight. We're going to go forward. We're going to progress, which means that anything I'm weak in, my husband should have strengths in that area. Anything that I'm strong in, I'm assuming my husband might be weak in it. But I'm going to help him. I'm not going to make him feel bad because he didn't know these things or he doesn't naturally do these things. I'm not going to treat him. I'm not going to speak to him in a condescending way. I'm not going to say, why don't you know that? Or why you don't, I don't get it. What kind of man don't do this? What kind of man don't know this? Now you testing his manhood. And I have also seen a lot of wives test the man's fatherhood. You know he didn't grow up with a father, and then you try to test what he does with his son and say, why wouldn't you do this? What kind of daddy don't do this? What man did he see doing things like that for his son? That he was raised in a house with if his daddy didn't do anything for him, he is literally just trying to do a little bit more. But he's not going to do things that maybe your father did. If your father was in the house with you every day, you're like, well, my daddy did such and such. Well, he wasn't raised by your daddy. You say, my brothers do such and such. Your brothers was raised by your daddy. So they're a different type of man. If your husband was raised by your daddy, he'd be just like you. It's ridiculous to assume your husband is going to act like you and he didn't get the same experience as you. First of all, that's a problem in just relationships, period. You all are expecting people to behave in a way, and they weren't raised in your environment. They didn't get the skills that you did. So we don't have grace for people not even thinking about what is your background? Who raised you? What is your life experience? And Lord, help me to help somebody that don't have something that I have, that wasn't raised with skills, talents, and tasks, things that I know how to do. God help me. Because even being equally yoked in your friendships and partnerships, you should be able to look at a person and say, I see a strength they have that I don't have. I see a weakness that they have that I have a strength in. We gonna do just fine because we are helping each other. We are being fruitful to one another. But see, you're looking for everybody to be on your level, act like you, talk like you. And that's why you're not growing, because you're not gaining anything from this person. Stop thinking that people are not valuable because they don't have certain things like you. They may actually have something that you do not have. And you need to see what is it that they have that I don't have. Single women, this is why y'all gonna forever remain single if you don't catch this today. If you don't catch this today, sweetheart, you're gonna forever remain single. Because if you're looking for a man with all the same strengths that you have, the same talents and giftings that God gave you, you will never find your man. Because God gives out the gifts. He gives out the talents. He decides who's raised in what household so that they will have certain training and certain skills. God gave it. You didn't. So cut your pride. Stop looking at these men like he's beneath me. He's below my level. I'm a 10, he a 3. No, ma'am. First of all, anything you have, God gave it to you. Any knowledge, any training, God gave it to you. So when you're looking for a husband, stop judging these men. You a 6-figure woman. Okay, because God gave you intelligence. You a doctor. You a lawyer. You do. That's great. He didn't get raised in your household. This man may not be a 6-figure earner, like knows how to go through school or didn't even have anybody helping him through school, but he is intelligent. He has good character. He has compassion. He would actually love you because he grew up in a loving family, not a rich family, but a loving family. Not necessarily an educated family, but a loving family. Your family was so busy making sure everybody was educated and working. They didn't even love you and spending any time nurturing you. This man gonna teach you nurturing and love. You can help him get into school because guess what? You know how to get into school. So sir, let me show you how to fill out the financial aid forms. Let me show you how to fill out an application. Because you didn't grow up in a family where anybody was showing you how to get into school. Baby, I can help you get into school because I see that you're intelligent. Baby, I'm going to help you get your license. I'm going to help you get your certification. Because my family taught me that. You didn't teach yourself that. God put you in a family that gave you that skill set. So stop being so stuck up and so prideful when you meet people that don't have those things. God put them in their family. But he is so graceful that he would line him up with a woman that has the training and the skill sets and say, this woman can help you. Well, your family failed to give you something and they didn't have it. I still want you to get it. This woman's going to give that to you. This woman's going to help you with that. So when you meet these men, say, you know what? I can help you with that. That's all you lacking. I'm real skilled in that area. And sir, what do you have to bring to the table? And when you see the good in these men, say so. Say, you know what? You are so loving. You are so kind. You are so thoughtful. I love the way that you just do stuff without thinking it because I don't think that way. I'm very selfish. Guess what? You were raised in a selfish household with people who were very self-centered and then think about others before themselves. A lot of you married women, your husband have a lot of great skill sets, but you will not acknowledge it. You won't say anything about it. You won't compliment it. You just over here talk about all the things that he isn't doing, don't have, and ain't got like you. And I'm gonna challenge you today. Would you marry somebody that's exactly like you? Let's really be honest with ourselves. If you married somebody with your same mentality, y'all would get on each other's nerves. Let me just be real clear. A man like you wouldn't even want to be with you because y'all would get on each other's nerves. Y'all would. I would not want a man just like me. Not just like me. Now, the parts of me that are like God, hallelujah, amen. I do have a husband that have the parts of godly character like me. But personality-wise, I'm so grateful for my husband. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that he's a calm spirit. I'm so grateful that he doesn't get all riled up and emotional like I have in the past and like I get about things. He is my calm. He is my peace. He says, baby, I don't think it's that deep. Come here. Let's stop. Let's think about it. He has a very calm spirit. And knowing my father-in-law, I know where he gets that from. My father-in-law is very peaceful, a very peaceful man. I like the fact that my husband is a hard worker. My father-in-law is a hard worker. I saw that in him. But there were some other parts that my family did a little bit differently that I said, well, sweetheart, I get it. You wasn't raised seeing your dad be at your games and doing this type of stuff and being involved with you. I know your mom mainly did that, but I think it would benefit our children to see you at their events and games. I said, did you want your daddy at your events and games? He said, I really did, but I know he was busy and he was working. I said, right. So if that was a desire for you, it's probably a desire for our children. And so you can do something a little bit different. Your dad is great, but you can do a little bit different and level up by actually coming to all of their sporting events and being involved in their school stuff. I said, your mom did all that stuff, didn't she? He's like, yeah. I said, yeah, I can tell because it looked like he was okay with me doing all the school stuff too. I said, but baby, you can level up. And there's so much that my husband taught me, things that my parents did not teach me. Well, my mom, because my father wasn't even there, that's a whole nother subject. But my mom did not teach me finances. I just didn't learn them. My family structure and experience, hey, spend it when you get it. Tell them you'll pay them tomorrow. Pay it 30 days late, pay the late fee. My husband came through with, hey, my family did teach us about finances. I said, well, teach me. Because I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be in poverty. And I don't want to be paying people late. I want to have a savings. He said, well, I can teach you that. He did not demean me for not knowing that. He was like, okay, I mean, that's your family. They didn't teach you that. And so he taught me that. And he didn't wonder why you don't know it. It's my background. Obviously, I told you. See, some of y'all faking. You won't just tell people what your deficits are. Hey, in my family, we didn't really do this. Hey, in my family, they weren't really really loving. Hey, in my family, they didn't really talk about their emotions. So this is why I'm struggling to talk about my emotions. But I want to, because I don't want you to think that I don't want to talk to you and I don't want to communicate with you. So you tell your spouse, lay it on the table. These are the areas you can really, really help me in. And then you ask your spouse, what areas do you want improvement in, or you think your family could have had improvement in? And I'm not blaming you for what you don't know, sweetheart, because we are all just a sum total of our life experiences and our training. So what do you need from me? Because I do believe I can help you. And then you help them in a patient way. You process them through this. Y'all, that's unconditional love. A lot of you do not know what unconditional love is. Unconditional love is, who are you for real? Who are you for real? I want to know every intimate detail. I want to know what made you cry as a little boy. I want to know if you was bullied. I want to know if somebody abused you. I want to know so that I can be the exact opposite of everything. And I will allow God to help me to be an instrument to love you, to heal you, and to help you, and to uplift you. Stop saying crazy things like, I ain't raising no man. You're not raising a man? Think about what you're saying. I'm not raising a man. So if your man was not raised, and Angela, I see you saying something. Yes, this is on live recording. I am going to share it. I am going to put it out there because, y'all, this is desperate. This is sad. I'm in counseling session after counseling session with couples, and what I realize is they don't know who they married, or they see who they married and they do not care. The man tells you nobody hugged him, nobody loved on him, and you wondering why you ain't loving and hugging on me. I'm sick of you. The man just told you, I did not grow up in a family where anybody was doing what you're asking me to do, and you have no patience, you have no grace, and you're mean-spirited about it. And then you're consistently telling me how you ready to get rid of me, how you ready to leave me, how you ready to let me go. So now, if people rejected him, you just became one of them. And now he's like, well, go on then. You're going to do what everybody else has been doing. No. Vow in your spouse's life or your future spouse's life to treat them better than anybody has ever treated them in their life. And it has nothing to do with you cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. It is, do I know them? Do I know what they need? And am I loving on them? If there's anything they don't know and had training in, I am God's help for that. I will be the one to show them what love looks like. Because some of us are like, I've been trying, I do stuff for them. No. Love is unconditional. because they have had people to love them, but then use them, manipulate them, and take things from them. So if you are loving your spouse, quote unquote, but then you stop because you don't get anything back, you're just like the other people. Because you're only doing it to get something back. You're not loving them because I want to love you. And I really want you to know what unconditional love looks like. I want you to know what it looks like to love somebody because you just do. How you love somebody with the love of Christ. How you are invested in their growth. You are invested in their healing. You are invested in their health. That was my husband calling me now. You hear that? I'm going to have to reject this call a little bit and get back. But this is like such a dynamic that I think I'm going to have to do a workshop. Because God says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Wives, husbands, y'all got to renew your mind. Y'all not looking at these people. And I'm sorry, wives, ladies, y'all going to get mad at me. But it's really y'all. It's the wives the most. Y'all have no idea what it means to be a wife and what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be loving these men. Y'all have no clue, no idea. And you are wrecking good marriages. You are wrecking good men. You're actually damaging them more than their family did. And then you get rid of them and say, God bless me with a better man. What? How do you think better men become better men? It's because somebody spent some time training them, loving them, and nurturing them into better men. Better men that just don't come out the sky. Somebody has to train a man into these places. And for the men who were not trained, God is using women who love them to help them grow. Your son, if you got a son, ladies, you're not being mean to your son as you're training him and growing him. You're doing it with patience and you're doing it with love. But that husband you got, you talking to him any type of way. That husband you got, you have no patience for the stuff he doesn't know and the stuff he's not doing. And you have talked to him nasty. And you have said things you weren't supposed to say. And you are stuck up and prideful about everything you know that he doesn't know. Everything you do that he doesn't do, you are stuck up and prideful about it. And God said, when you humble yourself and realize that you only here and doing what you're doing because I gave you the ability, then I might help you in your marriage. But right now, you're still stuck up and you're still prideful. He said, you're stuck up about what you know. And y'all can get mad if you want to. I know what the issue is. I have had several wives get mad at me in marriage counseling. I said, you don't know who you married to and you're not meeting his needs. What about my needs? And that response let me know right there. You do not know how to love. And maybe the family you were raised in was tit for tat on everything. So you're saying until you see something, you're not giving him anything. And that is not God, and that's not unconditional love. And you will be forever frustrated in your life until you understand how to love somebody and have to have grace and mercy for somebody through their process. And there are extra parts of this because if somebody is not interested in growing and interested in learning, you leave them alone. And if you knew that man was not interested in getting rid of those habits and training before you married him and you married him anyway, here you are. Here you are. You're here. Frustrated, agitated, because God don't let any of us be confused. He shows us who people are. He shows us parts of people before we marry them. And especially if you asking God, reveal to me if this is the man I'm supposed to be helping. Do I have the grace to walk his story? God would have told you. And if he told you no, you married him anyway, here you are. But I'm going to let this go right now because I got to run. I can't do it all today. But it is on my heart's passion because so many marriages are ending that don't need to end. They don't need to end. It's just people need to understand who they married. Who did you really marry? What was the background? What was the training? What was the experience? And stop trying to make somebody be something they have no context for what you're talking about. Have no training, no skill set, no context. Don't even know what are you talking about when you're asking me to do what? I wouldn't even thought to do that because I've never seen it done. I've never seen that done. I've never seen that in action. Never seen it. So it's not going to be natural to me what you're asking me to naturally do. It's not going to be natural. Good people, I pray for y'all. Your marriages, single people. Pay attention to their needs. Get to know what they need before you link up with somebody because you may not be the one to be with them. And that's a quick way to just run through people when you're trying to date them. Check it early on. No, I don't have a strength in that area. I'm not going to be able to do that. Next. I don't have a strength for that, a grace for that. Next. Don't take them on because you want to be married so bad or you like their money so bad or the way they look so bad that you don't really have a grace to be married to that person. Learn to be a friend. Say, I could be your friend, but I can't be your wife. Because as your wife, I would need you to stop some of those behaviors. As a wife, I would need to train you out of that. I would need to help you out of that. And it looks like you're not interested in coming out of that. I'm not your wife. I'm not the one for you. It's very simple, very easy. I will do another lie. I think I'm gonna do the next one with my husband. We just gonna come on because this thing's so serious. It's so sad and so serious at the same time. But you all, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Y'all got to renew your mind on this marriage thing, or nobody's gonna be happy. Even the married people, you're not happy because y'all don't really know each other. Y'all are not really even talking. You haven't even told your husband what's really wrong with you. Is that you insecure? Baby, I'm insecure because people have made me insecure. I'm insecure in my love because I've been played with my whole life as a child. And so little things you do that you ain't really trying to do to say that you don't love me, it makes me feel you don't love me because I'm insecure and I haven't went to counseling anywhere to deal with my insecurity. So everything you do makes me feel insecure. Everything you do makes me feel insecure. That's the type of stuff you need to be talking to your spouse about. I got some stuff in my background that even you who love me, you're triggering stuff that ain't your fault, but I'm making you pay for it. I really am. I'm making you pay for damage that other people did. And I'm sorry. Start with, and I'm sorry, because I know you love me. You're not trying to harm me, but my brain is telling me that you are based upon past experiences. And now your spouse feels like I can't keep them happy. I can't do nothing to help them. I can't do nothing to make them smile. I can't do anything. He is forever tore up, broke up, sad. I can't do anything to help them. So now they feel defeated and they're like, well, they might as well get with somebody else. We just not working out. No, you all are not talking. You're not communicating, and you're not trying to meet each other's need. You're not trying to be used as an instrument of God in your spouse's life to heal some broken spaces and to love on them in a patient, loving, and graceful way. All right, that's my third time closing out. Y'all have a marvelous, amazing Friday. That is your free therapy for today. You are welcome. If you needed it, you're welcome. Share, share, share. Talk to y'all later.